Hey guys, welcome to a brand new video on my channel, Meg's Movies. If you are new to this channel, this is basically where I talk to you guys about my passion for movies. This goes from collections, hauls, reviews, and to today's video, so let's get into it. Okay, so we are back with another A to Z list, and this time it is my animated list. Now, I'm going to be completely honest, when I was going through the letters of the alphabet to try and work out what ones I want to do for what, there are going to be certain letters missing. So, for example, Y is missing in this list because when I was looking up films that began with Y that were animated, I couldn't really see any, not that I'd seen anyway to be able to put on this list. So there are some letters that are missing. There's one film that's technically begins with M in the UK, but in America begins with Q. So I sort of like flipped it a little bit, so it's for my letter Q. But yes, so there won't be as many in this list, but at the end of the day, I am watching new films all the time, so who knows, maybe at some point in the future, when I have watched one of every letter, I can then do a full-on list. But for now, I'm just going to show you guys my A to Z of my animated movies from what I have. So at A, we have Anastasia. I grew up with this film and I love it. It's a very dark movie, not gonna lie, but the music is fun, the animation is fun, and it's just, there's so many scenes that stick out in my mind in this, and it's also one of those films that people thought was Disney, but it isn't. I mean, I even thought it was Disney at one point. But no, this is, although, like I said, it is a dark film, it is enjoyable. Like, it's a musical. I love my musicals, especially if they're animated. But no, the voice actors in here are lovely. It's just nice little movie, and it's done by Don Bluth, which I need to watch more of his films. But yeah, overall, Anastasia, that will never change. I don't think, no matter how many other films I watch. I mean, I like Aladdin. Don't get me wrong, that's one of my favourite animated movies. But I'm going to go with the one that I have the most connection with, and that is Anastasia. And then the next one is B, and we have Big Hero 6. This one surprised me because when I went to go and see this film, I didn't think anything much of it. I wasn't sure if it's going to be any good. The trailer looked kind of fun, mainly for Baymax. I watched the film and I didn't realise I was going to get emotional. I didn't realise I was going to laugh at this film. So there's so many different things this film made me feel, and it's like, I love Baymax. I mean, for a while after watching this film, I was going, ba la 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 la, you know, so yeah, this is a really good film. It is a tad bit emotional at some points, but it is fun. I'd love my own Baymax, actually. How would you rate your pain on a scale from 1 to 10? But no, this is a fun little movie. Wouldn't mind a sequel to it, not gonna lie. Wouldn't mind seeing a bit more to it, because I know there's a TV show, but wouldn't mind a sequel. Then at C, we have Corpse Bride. I struggled with C a little bit because there's not many of the C's that I have seen animated-wise. And I was trying to go full-on animation, not CGI and live action. So I just thought I'd go with something that's fully animated, and Corpse Bride is one of them. This has grown on me over the years. This is more my sister's favourite than mine, but like I said, it has grown on me. And especially the death song. I don't know why, but that song always sticks in my head. I don't know why, but I enjoy it. But this is one of Tim Burton's better films, and I look forward to giving this a rewatch when it comes to getting close to Beetlejuice 2, because I'm planning to do a Tim Burton ranking, so keep an eye out for that. Now for D, I did struggle to pick one for D, so I have skipped that one, but we're now going on to E, and that is Emperor's New Groove. There was no way I was going to put anything else in front of this. Emperor's New Groove always makes me laugh. It's a weird film, but it's a funny weird, and I like it. I love Cusco. I love all the characters in this. I mean, you've got Pacha, fun character. The voice actors in this are amazing. So I will say this, if they do a live action remake, which I hope they don't, but if they do, I'd love all the voice actors to come back for this, because they were such unique voices in this. I mean, you had David Spade, you had Patrick Warburton, you had John Goodman. I can't remember the actress that plays Yzma. But no, this is a funny little film, and one I return to when I need a bit of a pick-me-up. So I'll always return to that one. Then we have F, which is Finding Nemo. I will always be attached to this film. I grew up with this film, and I think a lot of these films will be more attachment than anything else, because I grew up with Disney and this was one of them. And just the fact of Dory and the little journey that they go on across the ocean and the "My name is Bruce. Hello, Bruce." Just honestly, so many memorable moments in this movie, and I do feel like Dory, like I've said before in the past on one of my previous videos, my memory isn't all that great. But Dory does make you laugh in a very tough situation, because you forget what they're dealing with because of Dory. But it is a fun, classic Disney Pixar movie, so I recommend you watch it. Now, G, I couldn't find anything for G, not gonna lie, not that I can think of off the top of my head. So we have to skip G, and then we're going on to H. Hercules, Hercules, Hercules. I rewatched this one recently, and honestly, I forgot how much I enjoyed this film. And it's not just the fact of Hercules, it's Hades. He's like one of my favourite Disney villains. I love the sarcasm he comes out with. I love some of the comments he has. Like, he's just such a badass villain, and he's one of my favourite Disney villains, I think. But then you've got some other fun characters in this, like Megara. Fun, sassy character. Love her. But yeah, Hercules is fun. And then you got Pain and Panic. I love Pain and Panic. They're one of like my favourite duos in Disney, because it's just the way they act and the way they are. But no, Hercules, if you have not seen it, I recommend you do, because it's not just that, the music in this, really good. Every song in here I listen to whenever I get a chance to, because they are fun. They're either upbeat, emotional, or funny. So seriously, recommend this film. And then going on to I, and we have Inside Out. There was no way I was going to pick anything else. Maybe Ice Age might have nudged in there a little bit if it weren't for the fact of I love this film in the sense of the storyline. So I love the fact that we're dealing with seeing a kid's emotions in their head, you know, joy, anger, sadness, disgust, fear. They are all things we think of when we are growing up, and I think they did the emotions brilliant in this film. I love the storyline. And even with like Inside Out 2, they did a good job with that one, with Riley being a teenager. But it was all to do with the fact of it was a little kid dealing with having to move to a new place, which means she's not with her friends anymore, and she's having to deal with a new school and new things. So this is a really good film. If you have not watched it, recommend it. So J, I don't have anything for J either. I do apologise. Like I said, there is a lot of films animated wise on certain letters I have not seen yet, so I have to skip J. And we're going to have to go for K. I wasn't sure what to go for on this one, because even with this one I struggled, but I decided to go with Kim Possible, A Stitch in Time. This is a fun little movie. I know it's not that long either. I think it's like, yeah, it's literally an hour long. But it's one of 3 Kim Possible films we got. Yeah, one of 3 Kim Possible films we got, and this is my favourite one out of them, just because of the simple fact of we go back in time and we see how Kim Possible became who she was, and then you got 3 of the main show villains teaming up to try and take down KP in a different way. So I really enjoy this film. I also really enjoy the other one, the So the Drama one. So both of these are really good films, and yeah, just whenever I'm in a Kim Possible mood, I tend to return to these. L, I think we all know what L is if you are returning to this channel. Lilo and Stitch. Nothing else will ever top Lilo and Stitch in this letter category. I will always love this film, and Just so many memories attached to it. Stitch is my favourite character of all time. And it's just, he's so cute. He's fun. He's adorable. He's a little bit, ooh, but we love him. And it's not just that. We have Lilo and Nani as sisters, but she's having to look after Lilo. And it's like, seeing that aspect of Disney is really nice. I like that. And honestly, if you want to watch a Disney film and you want to try and get into Disney, I recommend this one first, just because it is a unique film. And say, I'm going to be honest, I'm not looking forward to the live action film we're getting. Just being honest. But I will still watch it, because it's Lilo and Stitch. Then we go on to M, and with M, I did struggle a bit more again. But I decided to go with Monsters, Inc. This is a fun little movie. The idea of the fact of, what do monsters do with our screams, you know? And then how they deal with humans. And I think this is a fun little movie. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. It's just fun, enjoyable. A little bit weird, but fun. N, we don't have anything for N, unfortunately. But we do have O. And that is Over the Hedge. I know not many people are a massive fan of Over the Hedge. But you know what? I think it's very underrated, mainly for Hammy. I love Hammy the squirrel. He's so funny. And especially when he's trying to get cookies and some of the lines he comes out with. Fun little movie. It's not anything too great, but it is a fun little movie nonetheless. The next one we have is P. And honestly, this was the very first movie I thought of when I thought of P. Puss in Boots, The Last Wish. This surprised me so much the other year, because when I watched this, I went into it thinking the Puss in Boots film was alright. It weren't as good as Shrek, but it was alright. And I saw the trailer for it and I was like, it looked really good. Then I come out of the cinema and I loved it. This is one of my favourite films from DreamWorks. I love the fact that they deal with death, and Death is a really cool character in this. Like, oh my god, he's such a badass character. But the animation as well is so different to what DreamWorks has done in the past. And I think that's what made it go over the edge. But Puss in Boots, The Last Wish. Oh my god, such a good film. I definitely need to watch this again. So this is the one that technically is M in the UK, but is Q in America. So I'm going to go with Q. And that is Quest for Camelot. I know this is being talked about more, which is really nice to hear, because this is your classic, you know, King Arthur tale, but told a little bit differently. It's a musical, it's an animated musical as well. But it's a fun one. It's adorable. I mean, you got the two dragons here, they're quite funny. And so you got our two main characters there as well. So it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but I enjoy it. Anything to do with King Arthur and that I do tend to look at more, because I love that part of history. Also Egypt for some reason. But no, so hence why this is in Q, because I wanted to include this, plus also I needed something for Q. Then we have R, and yet again, struggled with R, but I went with Robots. Underrated Robin Williams film, I think. He plays Bender, our little friend there. And honestly, if you have not watched it, I seriously recommend you do, because it's a fun little film about, well, not really fun, it's a bit dark, not gonna lie. It's about robots and how things are changing, and upgrades are a thing now. So it's like, what do robots do that don't have enough to do upgrades? So yeah, bit of a odd film, but it is funny, and so like I said, it's got Robin Williams in it, so I recommend you watch it. Okay, so with S, this is a childhood classic of mine. I'll always have memories attached to this. Swan Princess. I grew up loving this film. In fact, I loved all three films. I have not watched any of the new films. I'm too scared to. I wouldn't mind doing a ranking of one of my favourite childhood franchises, but looking at those other films, I'm not really sure if I want to. But this one is, yeah, just, it has so many memories to me, and it's the music, it's the characters, the story, and the villain. He's a fun villain, and just overall, my childhood was in this film. So thank you for being part of my childhood. Okay, and if you are returning to this channel and you know me, you know exactly what's coming at tea, and that is Treasure Planet. Underrated Disney film. Seriously, watch this film. I feel like too many people knock this down. I don't get why though, because it's fun, it's enjoyable, it's a new take on the Treasure Island story, and it's set in space, and the animation is beautiful. The song in this, I'm Still Here, I love that song. I can listen to that song on repeat and never get bored. There's a quote in this film that I absolutely love to bits, and it's just, honestly, give this more of a shot. Wouldn't mind seeing a live action remake of this, to be honest. Could be fun. But yeah, seriously, such an underrated movie. So you struggled again, but I've gone with Up. I do enjoy this film. I don't enjoy it as much as others do. Like, I get the whole first 5 minutes is freaking emotional. Jesus Christ, that was... Didn't know Disney could do that. Like I said, I don't enjoy it as much as so many other people do, but I do enjoy it. I think it's a good story. I think it's a good way to deal with things in certain situations. This is what I like about Pixar, is that they deal with certain things and situations. So, with you, let's start with this one. V, we don't have, unfortunately. It was going to be Valiant, I think. But then I remember rewatching it a couple of years ago. And I remembering not enjoying it so much. So, that's why I've kept it off the list for now. Maybe when I give it another rewatch in the future, I might change my mind. So, yeah. And then W. W is WALL-E. Yet again, this is one of those films that I understand why everyone loves it so much. I don't love it as much as other people, but I do enjoy it. I love WALL-E as a character. I think he's adorable. And especially when he meets up with Eva. You know, I love that part. And it's just, some of the moments in here are fun and enjoyable and emotional. Then it gets dark, and then it's like, whoa, what the hell? But yeah, WALL-E, I can see why so many people enjoy this film. I wish I enjoyed it a little bit more. I wish I was up there with the highest lot, but I am near them. And then, W. I haven't got X or Y, but we're going to go with Z. And I don't actually own this as a physical copy. It's part of my box set, so I have to be very careful. And that is Zootropolis, or Zootopia, whichever you want to call it. This surprised me as well. This surprised me so much in the sense of I want to know what I was going to get out of this film. And then I watched it, and I just love these two as characters. I love the whole Animal City aspect. Like, they try to build a universe around these animals, and fun, enjoyable. The villains surprised me, actually. Not one of my favourite villains, but they surprised me. I weren't seeing it coming when I first watched it. But I know we're getting a Zootopia 2, or Zootropolis 2. And I'm looking forward to that one, because, like I said, I do enjoy this film, and I do feel like we could do more with this. So yeah, sorry my A to Z of my animated movies are short and small. But like I said, there's so many other movies I need to watch before I can even put them on the list and things like that. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then do give it a thumbs up. And if you are new to this channel, then go ahead, hit that subscribe button and also the notification bell down below to be notified when I post. And also leave me your comments and thoughts on this video, and also your A to Z list. I'd love to know. And I probably just repeated myself a little bit there, but there you go. But let me know your A to Z of animated movies. I'd love to know if there's any that I might not have seen that you could recommend me. Let me know in the comments down below. See you guys next time.